Crimson Desert can be a hard game, so with this video I'm going to make it easier for you. You can eventually unlock everything in this game, so it's not necessarily a proper RPG build, but not all skills or gear in Crimson Desert are created equal. And knowing how to use them and which ones to grab first is the key to having a good time. This build is what I used to destroy the game so far. It's fun, it hits hard, and it's stupidly easy to execute. It's an absolute whirlwind of destruction, and it's easy to get started as soon as you spawn in. As always, the full level by level guide is in the description with locations and some extra tips added in. So passives first. These are the under the hood skills you want to be prioritizing before we talk about the active skills. Stamina is the most important stat in this game, and it's not even close. In combat, it means more swings and more dodges. Outside of combat, it means more sprinting, more flying, more jumping. Stamina is a huge quality of life improvement. Put stats into this early and often. Health is good, but not a priority. You don't need to overdo it, and how much you need is sort of dependent on your skill. Just drop a point or two in whenever you notice you're getting hit harder than you would like. Keen Senses is extremely important to your defenses via dodging and guarding. I recommend getting this maxed out ASAP. Counter is a part of the Keen Sense tree, and you can learn this from the guards behind Lioncrest Manor for free by observing them. So make sure to head back there and grab it early on. I will have all relevant skills you can observe in the spreadsheet. It will make it cheaper for you to level because you'll get to use less cores. Nature's Echo is the second most important thing on this passives list. These are basically shadow clone follow-ups. They trail your attacks and pile on free damage. It looks awesome, it feels awesome, and it just works passively for you. Zero thought required for a bunch of extra damage. Then we have Double Jump, Aerial Roll, and Aerial Maneuver. All three of these are great movement tools, and you'll want them all eventually. Double Jump earlier than the others because of stamina. Aerial Roll lets you dash mid-air, which is amazing for faster map traversal, and Aerial Maneuver lets you clear massive obstacles by jumping over them. Both of the aerial skills eat stamina though, so don't rush them until your stamina pool is higher, because it's actually impossible to even use Aerial Maneuver until you invest a couple points into your stamina. Now for the active attacks. The reason this build is so approachable is because you only really need 4 skills and none of the combos are complicated. Spinning Slash is the centerpiece, right bumper plus A. That's it. You'll be surrounded constantly in this game, and this skill just makes you spin to win in a whirlwind of destruction. It's the bread and butter of the build. This can be boosted by observing a guard in Hernand Castle right away in the game. Forward Slash is your straightforward heavy attack. It's just right trigger, simple and strong, and you can actually get the upgrade for this for free by observing the guards in the Hernand Castle. Turning Slash is your big spirit spender. Right trigger plus right bumper. You'll weave this into your rotation whenever you have spirit to burn. When upgraded, it flows naturally into your other skills. You will want to use this when a tankier enemy shows up, or someone with a shield to smack through their shield. Evasive Slash is a bit more of a skilled attack, so I recommend waiting to get this until you're more familiar with the game and the rest of the build. But you can basically use this to do hit and runs on enemies by jumping in with Spinning Slash and Turning Slash, then using this to jump away from them, avoid their attack, and then do damage back. Blinding Flash Finisher is a bit of a single target nuke. It might just be the highest burst damage skill in the game. You won't be spamming this, you will want to use it specifically when a boss finishes an attack chain and is in a sort of fatigued state. When that happens, it's your time to shine. Press right bumper and LB together to pull out the flashing sword, then hold right trigger for the follow-up. Use it once or twice and watch the boss health bar go down very quickly. Outside of single target fights, I don't recommend pressing this often. Lastly, while we are on the topic of skills, I would say not to overinvest cores into your skills because you do not need many of the skills anyway, and the cores will be more useful for upgrading your gear and your other characters. And now we're on to weapons. Quick note, the framework for the build is mostly intended for dual wield, which I think is maybe the best weapon set in the game, but it also translates well to sword and shield and greatsword if that's more your thing or you just want a change of pace. The Sword of the Lord is going to be your main weapon for the entire early game. You can pick this up from the second main story boss. I had it by hour 7 and I'm still running it over 60 hours in. Upgrade it immediately and keep upgrading it because you'll have it for a while. The passive fires a wave of energy on every third light attack, and with the speed this build attacks, those waves can stack up fast. It also has multiple other ways of proccing this wave of energy, which we will get to in the combo section. For your offhand, we are going to grab the Hollow Visage. This is a nasty katana that fits in perfectly with our Musashi Miyamoto style build. It doesn't really do anything special, it just has a lot of raw damage and nice things that come alongside it. This sword is hiding in the Mountain of Frozen Souls behind a waterfall. If you want to go two-handed, the Huando is your best early option. It's in Lioncrest Manor, you'll need a key and a mask to steal it, and while you're in there, as a small tip, there's also a gold bar worth 500 silver sitting around. Grab it and bank it. This will help you get kickstarted on the money. Sword and Shield works well with this build too, so for that, the Shield of Conviction is a solid early pickup. It's in a bell tower church northwest of Hernand. It's a bit of a trek, but worth it if you want to use a shield. The helmet of choice is none other than the Leather Helm of the Fallen Kingdom. This fits in perfectly with this build, giving us a massive damage boost to one of our core skills, and can be easily acquired from the Sanctum of Benediction. For gloves, the Plate Gloves of the Fallen Kingdom are an excellent choice because they make all of your healing stronger and give you passive regen. This really will help your survivability and your economy because you'll have to cook less food. Reed Gloves are another option that come from the third main boss, who is meaningfully harder than the others, so go in ready. These gloves spawn additional ninjutsu clones when you take damage and dodge. Taking hits isn't ideal, but the passive damage output these add is nice, and it's thematic with the rest of the build. For armor, we want to go heavier in this game. This game throws a lot of damage at you that you simply can't dodge around, so mitigation matters more in my opinion. If you want a specific set to target, go for the Shadow Armor. Head west of Hernand into the mountain ranges. 3 pieces are clustered close enough that you can grab them all together. The chest gives stamina regen, which is a nice thing to have early on. This is the primary piece you're going to want to look for. For boots, I recommend the Odeck Protectors from the Sanctum of Temperance just south of the Goldleaf Trading Post. They provide both damage resist and move speed, which is great for early boots. For accessories, honestly, I haven't found anything broken yet. I will be updating the spreadsheet if I do, but I generally recommend grabbing ones that help with damage and then upgrading them ASAP. You'll be keeping the same rings, necklace, and earrings for a long time, and the upgrade costs are just small bones. Which brings me to what might be the actual most important tip in this entire video: kill every goat you see. Goats drop meat for food, small horns for Palmar pills, and small bones for accessory upgrades. They travel in huge packs, they die in one hit, and in my opinion are more valuable than gold in the early game. If you take one thing from this video, it's that goats need to go extinct and you're the man for the job. In general, I cannot stress enough that you need to regularly be upgrading your gear to make the game easier. By the beginning of Act 4, all of your gear should be at Tier 4 minimum. The general rule of thumb is that your gear should be the same level as the act you're in. I'm only nearly 70 hours in, which is a wild sentence to say about any game, but I'll be updating the build spreadsheet in the description as I find better weapons and armor options going into the late game. Lastly, here's a few combos to show you how easy it is to use this build. Combo 1 is to run at the enemies. Spam right bumper and A, which is spinning slash. Then against shielded or tankier targets, weave in your right trigger and right bumper to use turning slash for a big damage spike on the enemy. You should use it whenever you have spirit anyway, since it's really our only spirit spender skill. Combo 2. Dodge, then press right bumper for light attack, and you trigger your weapon's special ability for some range. You can also jump, then press light attack as another form of proccing this passive. These are specifically tied to the Sword of the Lord, so you will need to have it before you can do this. Combo 3 I kind of mentioned earlier, but you will want to jump in with your right bumper plus A and right trigger plus RB to commit some damage. Use a couple of these, then do RBB to jump away from their attacks. You can basically keep doing this to jump in and out and basically just be an annoying mosquito. And lastly, in order to do all this, you need to survive, so a general tip to save you a lot of grief is to kill archers first. I typically loop the outside of fights and kill them early before they stack up and make the fight miserable. Once you get farther into the game, you can use some skills to jump up to them and crush their towers, but it takes quite some time to get to that point. Keen Senses also helps with dodging once you've got it leveled, and the counter passive is super good at making it so melee enemies are not hitting you back. that's the build. Like and subscribe for more Crimson Desert content. I'll have Damien and Unka specific builds coming later this week. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Another scavenger here to pick at the bones of my kingdom. A petty thief has but one fate. Death, cold and swift and merciless. Come forth, I shall slay you myself. It's a price you'll be paid for with your life. You shall not live, which is my subject's blood to earn. Do you not see the crown upon my head? Hear the chorus of my subject's praise. How dare you set your filthy feet upon royal ground? Coveting the royal office is death. Such is the punishment of treason. His fury is fiercer than 1,000 spears. Tear your limbs and hang them above the cotton! I will not die! A king does not die! Stand-Lord! Eternal! I will witness your reign from atop my throne! It's time for me to take your life! An everlasting night! Persistent rats! This cannot be. Do not weep for me, my subjects. Have no fear. I shall not fade. Until I build a glorious kingdom for you.